Stories. Tonight, we're journeying deep into the dense, shadowed forests of Sierra Leone. This is a place where sunlight struggles to kiss the forest floor, and the very air feels thick with the whispers of an ancient past. Here, nestled among towering trees and tangled undergrowth, villagers speak in hushed, fearful tones of a terrifying presence, the Devil Bush Men now. These are no ordinary campfire spirits. Depending on who you ask, they are either ancient guardians of the forest or something far more sinister, predators lurking just beyond our sight. Legend describes the Devil Bush Men as silent movers, their elongated limbs almost indistinguishable from the gnarled branches and deep shadows that surround them. They are masters of camouflage, entities that seem to melt into the very fabric of the jungle. Their most chilling trait, however, is their voice. As dust settles over the forest, they begin to call out, their voices sounding eerily, unsettlingly human. They don't just make random noises, they mimic the voices of people you know and trust. Imagine you're deep in the woods, the light is fading, and suddenly you hear your mother, your brother, or your best friend calling your name from just a little further into the trees. It's an almost irresistible lure, a familiar sound in an unfamiliar, darkening world. But according to the lore, those who answer that call, those who step off the path to find the source of that voice, are never ever seen again. So, what are these mysterious beings? The origins of the Devil Bush Men are shrouded in mystery, with several theories passed down through generations. One popular belief is that they were once human, men and women who lived in these very forests centuries ago. Perhaps they were banished from their tribes for terrible crimes. Or maybe they were struck by a powerful curse, condemned to roam the undergrowth for eternity. In this version of the story, their actions are driven by a deep-seated desire for vengeance, a spectral rage directed at anyone who dares to disrespect the sacred land they are now bound to. They are seen as vengeful protectors, their chilling calls a warning to intruders. Another, perhaps more terrifying, theory suggests that the Devil Bush Men are not spirits of the dead at all, but creatures born from fear itself. Primordial entities that have always existed in the darkest corners of the world, feeding on the negative energy of lost and frightened souls. In this interpretation, they don't just hunt people, they hunt fear. They use their vocal mimicry to create confusion and terror, luring travelers into cleverly hidden traps within the dense foliage, quicksand pits, sudden drops, or impossibly thick patches of thorns, from which there is no escape. The fear you feel as you become lost and disoriented only makes them stronger, their presence more palpable. The stories told by locals are filled with cautionary tales. Check countless accounts of hunters who ventured out for an evening expedition, or villagers who went to gather firewood only to vanish without a trace. Pattern is always disturbingly similar. They report hearing whispers just beyond the edge of their vision, a familiar voice calling their name, coaxing them to follow it just a little deeper into the darkness. They take a few steps, then a few more, and then they're gone. Search parties find no tracks, no signs of a struggle, nothing. It's as if the forest itself simply swallowed them whole. The few who have claimed to have an encounter with the Devil Bush Men and live to tell the tale all describe a similar, deeply unsettling experience. They say the forest itself seems to change when these entities are near. Familiar paths suddenly twist and turn, leading to nowhere. The temperature drops, and a strange silence falls over the jungle. All the normal sounds of insects and animals ceasing at once. Gnarled branches seem to reach out, like skeletal fingers snagging at your clothes, trying to hold you back, or pull you in. And then there are the voices. Always the voices. They start as a faint whisper, a distant call that you might dismiss as the wind. But they grow closer, more insistent, until you can no longer tell if what you're hearing is real or a trick of your own terrified mind. The feeling of being stalked, of unseen eyes watching your every move, becomes overwhelming. It's a psychological assault designed to break you down, to make you run blindly into the unknown. Because of this, a stark warning is passed down from parent to child in the villages surrounding these forests. Never, under any circumstances, answer your name if it's called in the forest, especially after sundown. Never follow a familiar voice through the trees, no matter how convincing it sounds. The belief is that by answering, you give the spirits permission. You acknowledge their presence, and in doing so, you become their prey. Once they have your attention, once you've engaged with their call, the Devil Bush Men will begin their hunt. And once you are lost in their domain, the shadows may never let you go. This is the enduring legend of the Devil Bush Men of Sierra Leone. They represent represent a primal fear, the fear of the dark, the unknown, and the terrifying idea that the familiar world we know can be twisted into a deadly trap. Are they cursed spirits, ancient predators, or simply manifestations of our own anxieties about the untamed wilderness? We may never know for sure, but their whispers still echo through the trees for anyone who dares to wander too far from the path. A chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the shadows. If you found this story as chilling as I did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the world as dark as legends. Stay safe, and whatever you do, don't answer the call from the woods.